Good evening, beautiful, melanated, original, whatever you respectfully call yourself, people. It's your girl Tinaberry, straight no chaser with the queen. Here at here at the Queen's throne. Here at the throne. We're here at the throne. So, if you see my title, I know. If you see my title, we're gonna be talking about child support and what is a deadbeat. Child support, because I've been doing my research. I remember I did a paper in college about child support when I had to do a speech or something, and I did some research. But what is a deadbeat dad or mom? And can I put this in there? Can grandparents be deadbeats? So, what is a deadbeat? What you looked it up, baby? You got the definition?
I'm going to it now.
Okay, well, I'm getting the definition. Okay, it's your girl, Straight No Chaser with the Queen. We're here at the throne. So like, share, subscribe, hit the thumbs up. Like I said, I appreciate all my followers, all you beautiful, melanated, original people. So we talking about deadbeats because I know a lot of us don't like the talk about the subject, and we put down the fathers a lot. But you know, moms and stuff, everybody could be a deadbeat. But go ahead, what they say, what does society say a deadbeat is?
Okay, we're gonna break it down like this.
Okay.
This is what a deadbeat is. Mm-hmm. Not a deadbeat dad or a mom, just the term deadbeat. Mm-hmm. Okay. Says a deadbeat is someone who owes money or has other financial obligation and doesn't meet them. Example, deadbeats don't pay their bills. That's the example it gave.
Okay.
That's what the term deadbeat means.
So I brought this up because I mean, you know, they say deadbeats don't pay the bill, but somehow us as melanated people, we got that put on our back. Our men carries the term deadbeat, and our queens, our women, our melanated women, we carry the term the welfare queens. And how I wanted to talk, how does that all get started? And you know, on here, I'm going to be talking about the truth. It all gets started because, you know, our friends, the supremacists, this is a system. I told you, white supremacy is a system to destroy us and to destroy ourselves. And if we don't sit down and understand what happened over time, and I'm going to tell you, because we did some research and I did my paper on this. So like, share, subscribe. I did my paper on this. I did my paper on child support in school, how I was against it. Now, I'm not saying that I hadn't used it, but I didn't know by the time I came to college. I don't even enforce mine because you have to understand that child support was started by white women at first. They were complaining. We have to understand, were we able to vote? What year did we start that men were able to vote? Remember, white women were always fighting for rights. And they were fighting for the right, the work. White women were always fighting for rights. And we were always there, but every time they win something and the rest of it goes bad, we take the face of it. Like I said, our men take the face of a deadbeat dad, when deadbeat means society say it means don't pay their bills. So I'm trying to bring out the stereotypes that we push on each other, because it's some stuff that we're going to have to start changing, and we're going to have to look at the situation in a different way, not the way it's painted to us to look at it, because these types of situations and stuff destroys us. But and when I say that, it's because the way that child support is set up to make, if the man, our kings and queens, don't have money, then all of a sudden he's a deadbeat dad if he cannot pay what society tells him to pay, even though he can spend time with his children.
Right. Exactly.
So, like I said, we got to understand what white society, the white supremacists, the racists who put things in play, who took the seats and played this chess game where they're able to really enforce things that affect our natural lives. And it goes on for years and we don't understand it. Child support started in the 1950s. We couldn't even vote. This was because white men were leaving, predominantly white men were leaving their families because they were rich. and leave the woman with the children. So there was no laws enforced. Black people, we were already together. We couldn't even vote.
Right.
It actually started in 1939.
And then 1975.
Wait a minute, hold on. 1939 is when it, the 1935. Okay, yeah, and the dads that died. The 1935 Social Security Act. Right. The Fatherless Children Act. Go ahead.
Oh, basically what I was gonna say, like you were saying, it started what 1950. Mm-hmm. That's when the private act of child support started. But in 1975, when Ford became president, that's when he reinstated the public act as we have now. That's when the states got involved.
And then what people need to know, like I said, like, share, subscribe. What people need to know is that when they first started the benefits, because white women, it was about fatherless. Remember, we weren't getting a lot of benefits. So we have to understand all this stuff that they talk about in history that they are proud of and that they brag about. You have to remember when we were not able to get those benefits. We weren't afforded those. We were held back. And that's what the white supremacy was. So when that act came in, they said by the time of 1955 and 1975, welfare benefits had tripled. So basically, it was really supposed to, the act was really supposed to be set up again for the children who didn't have fathers, like fathers who died and stuff. But then it came on to when a lot of the rich ones will walk away from their families and they live a certain lifestyle. Remember, up until the 70s, and I want you, when we talk about this stuff, I want you to understand when they talk about their history, you look up anything that they're talking about, their history and stuff, that's their history. Behind everything they celebrate, we have to understand our history, and that's never being told. We don't understand how they were setting us up to, the child support system was setting us up to be single parents. They were setting us up on the chess game for the black woman to be going against the black man, to separate our pawns, to have us confused. And we have to understand how they did different stuff to do this. So at the times, at the date says different stuff was significant to them, understand what's different stuff was significant to a destruction to us. So in the 1930s, 39, when they did this act, they enacted the act. Remember, in 1939, they started making the whispers, because at that time we were still 2-parent households, and it's in history, we were 2-parent households, and then marijuana was not illegal. 1939, they started the rumor that marijuana was illegal. I mean, that they started the rumor that marijuana caused black men to rape white women and do all kinds of stuff to white women, and that they put the marijuana on the Schedule C of the federal, what is it? The federal schedule, where they schedule the drugs. But it's the number one drug over marijuana, over crack, over heroin, over cocaine, over meth. But look at how that was set up at that same time they setting up this child support system. And at the time, the child support system wasn't about me and you, because we ain't never had the benefits of anyway. So think back in time. Don't think where you're at now. Understand, I want us, this show, when I do videos, I always tell I want you go back to the beginning. Because if we go back to the beginning, we start unraveling. That's how you unravel something. When you go back to the beginning, how something started, you'll understand how we end up in the conditions that we are in, and how they have been using war tactics against us. What you gonna say?
I'm just gonna say, we're reiterating this, that it's a system, right?
Go ahead, baby.
And we're not saying that not take care of your kids, guys, and fathers. You know what I'm saying? We're not saying that. We're just saying how the system is a trap for, a trap for us. And we fall into it, because a real man, real fathers, we gonna take care of our kids regardless. And we ain't talking about those that that don't have that in them. But we also get caught up in the system. You know what I'm saying? I'm personally, I did myself. So, but you're always gonna take care of your kids.
Exactly. But they got us mixing up finances Now that we are tangled up in this other web, they got us not, they broke, we have to go to the beginning, but they broke us up from looking at finance. They mixing finances with what being a real dad is about.
Right.
Now most dads are not trying to be a father and show them their kids fatherly stuff. They're trying to buy stuff, mothers too, but I'm just saying it's like but men are put there because they either have to say if they're a good dad. Now they can say, instead of saying they're a good father like this, they were like, oh, they pay their child support, and if you don't pay the child support, you're a bad dad. Right. And stuff. Even if you behind, what I'm saying is that there's some black men, there's a lot of men behind in child support, but it doesn't make them bad dads.
Exactly.
It doesn't make them bad fathers. A lot of fathers, like I said, I'm gonna put something here. Look at my scroll down on. And there are ways that we can work together, melanated people, without destroying each other in the way that white supremacy has programmed us to. But I want to go back to the act of child support and understand how this is really significant to us, because the child support is what is like. They needed the child support. We were 2-parent households. Marijuana was free. We were 2-parent households. Now look at the thing that is destroying us. Being deadbeat dads, separated in the house, and marijuana. Most of our men are sitting in prison because of marijuana. And those things came at the act of the Child Support Act and what is it? Making marijuana illegal all started
criminalization.
Yeah, criminalizing marijuana all started at the same kind of little wheel that they were turning.
And it came about when, think about this, those acts came about when crack hit.
Yeah,
in the 80s, during the Reagan time.
So what happened was white women needed more child support. So then they had public child support. They had private child support then they had public child support. Like if they had money and they went through a divorce lawyer and they got child support, but the private child support was not enforced with law enforcement.
Right. You had to go.
And then at the time when they had welfare benefits, the welfare and stuff, they was taken care of. They had the cars, the food and stuff. I want y'all to understand why they always yelling at us. Y'all, the government taking care of y'all, because the government was taking care of them at the time. But when they turned and flipped it and separated our families and put us on the welfare system and everything and put us in this child support system, they cut the welfare benefits. So we didn't get the same benefits when they divided us. And see, how did they divide us? They put crack in our neighborhoods. They took away opportunity. The government didn't say, no, don't give opportunities. The government didn't send in no protection to make sure these racist businesses and these banks and stuff was giving us opportunities. So they made sure that the black man could not have work and stuff. So if you don't get work and everything, you couldn't pay your child support.
And then if you got behind, right? You got what you owe, plus you got the back fees. And then what I'm saying is, how you supposed to live then? What's that gonna do? A man gonna eat. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
And they knew that. They knew a man, if they take away opportunities and jobs, and then you want to live and take care of your kids, they drop crack and stuff, and they sit back, and it's known. The CIA did this. Look up why Maxine Waters decided she wanted to run for Congress, because she said she wanted to get them back for dropping crack and stuff in her neighborhoods. I know, I'm from the Bronx. I seen how the city went from one thing to another. I didn't understand the wave that was going on. I'm pretty sure all y'all out there and all y'all in y'all cities. The reason why I'm bringing up stuff like this, because we all need to understand we're in the same boat. Well, we're in the same storm. I seen a Facebook post, and the person said, we have to understand we're not in the same boat. We're in the same storm. Some of us are on yachts. Some of us are on boats. I'm going to add mine the way I think it. Some of us on rafts and stuff like that. But like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell.
Great analogy. Just think about hurricane.
Yeah.
How a hurricane does. It goes through its path. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? It may tap one city. Mm-hmm. It may go through a city,
Yeah, and we all of and I'm always say this in my videos, and y'all know, because I need us to get to a point where we start sympathizing with each other's struggle. Right. Because if we start sympathizing with each other's struggle, the only way, I'm not just talking about white supremacy, about this and that, and people say, you get behind and talk, because I believe, and I felt like I say, the ancestors, I talked to my husband about it. I believe the way that we have to start getting out, we have to first start evaluating ourselves. And sometimes when we try to evaluate ourselves, we go and we evaluate ourselves through religion and stuff. So I'm bringing these stories so that we can start understanding what is going on with us and what is separating us as a people, and how we got caught up in a trap set up by the enemy for their own families. Understand, in the up until the 1975s, we were 2-parent households.
Right.
So the child support system was not for us.
We together.
And the welfare system wasn't for us, because they brought the welfare system in. And if you look up a study, the study was done by where's his name at? I think his name was Irvin. But the study was done about how welfare started. I mean, how child support started. It was that, I think, just look up the evolution of child support. And they had private child support, they had public, but it was all predominantly white. Because understand, at them times, we didn't have the rights. We had rights, we were working, but we was being discriminated against. We wasn't even being able to vote until the 1960s. So when they was talking about the child support and how they was taking care of the welfare benefits, included cars, it included food stamps, it included the check each month. But at them times, the dad did not have to pay back nothing. But it was mostly for dads who had died or were injured and stuff. But as more and more dads walked away from their responsibilities, they said that by the 1985, in white households, they like 1 in 5 whites, one in 5 white children were in fatherless households.
Right, and we stayed together.
Well, they broke us up during that time, but they were divorcing at a numerous rate. And then they were divorcing, they were getting on public benefits. You still had poor whites and you have rich whites. Don't think all white people were rich. That's why white people don't want to talk about racism and don't want to believe that racism is real. Because when they struggle with being poor and they don't went through stuff, but they don't understand that they weren't being held back because of the color of their skin. They weren't being treated that way because of the color of their skin. That's where classism come in. They just was not rich whites. So they still had public assistance and stuff, but they had it. You can look it up. By 1955 and 1975, public assistance had doubled, tripled of what the government was paying. So that's where they get this welfare taken care of, because real welfare benefits don't take care of you no more.
Oh no.
So that was still during the time we were 2-family households. So I want you to put together what I'm saying. We were still 2-parent household.
When they broke the family up,
how they started breaking up the family, they started talking about how they needed to stop paying for families, right? And then the private ones wanted the private white people. They wanted the law enforcement enforced on that child support through their divorces, but they couldn't get it. So either which way they fought, like they do, blah blah blah. They have a couple of us that always fighting with them. They got it merged, but their enforcement came with, you had to put the father in jail and all these laws and rules. Like the rules and stuff now that change, it says that hold on, I'm gonna tell you everything that they can take from you. They can now deny you a passport. It can take your unemployment benefits. It can take your state and federal. I'm pretty sure now your retirement, your salary payments to contractors and vendors. Now they can put liens on your property and mess up your credit. This only happened when white people, when they were the ones separate, they enforce these rules. Because remember, we never make laws that affect them. They had a problem in their household. It was a statistic that they were divorcing at a high rate and leaving behind children. So they needed it enforced. So at the time, it was them. We were still, remember, 2-parent households, because you can Google it. We didn't start being separate households until the 70s. During that time, that's when black men, they say after slavery, after Jim Crow, what was we to do? Look at all the discrimination. So they had to separate us a little bit more. people say the project separated us and stuff. Yes, they use the black women with the project thing, but that was just another piece. That was another move on the chessboard. Understand, we're on a chessboard, and this is a system of white supremacy. The name of the game is white supremacy. What is the benefit? What is the win? What the winner get? The white supremacists get to live comfortably, while they get to kill, rape, and use us. So the child support system started coming in. Well, what they did with the child support system is they integrated it with the state, where they now enforced it with the law and stuff. And so the rich people, when they get behind something, they pass all these laws. But what happened at the same time, they started after the 70s. Remember, there was a spike in benefits from the government taking care of fatherless children, predominantly white. So there was a spike in benefits. Then all of a sudden, after 75, during the same time, we all of a sudden became less and less of 2-parent households because of plays. Remember, the board put in by the government to separate us. You know, they started discriminating us against more. So that's during that time. That's when the crack start coming in. They start coming in the streets, and then now you got laws put in for crack. Because if you discriminate and a man don't know how to make money, like my husband said, a man gonna get money, they gonna start selling crack. Now we the crackheads and we the crack dealer. Now we got the face of drugs that they already have been using, and they're why they getting away selling drugs as being pharmacists. So they separating us. So understand, when it comes down to child support and stuff, we were not supposed to be in this circle, and we weren't supposed to be called the deadbeats. We weren't supposed to be against each other. So when they put crack and they start selling drugs, what happened? They go to prison. So they created fatherless households.
Right. So that creates crime.
Thank you. They created crime when they put the crack. They created the crime when they put the crack. So they were setting it up at the same time during this child support when they was paying. Remember, listen to what I'm saying. When they were paying all this money to these white women, they had to figure out, it's in the paper, they had to figure out how they were going to do get the money back. So in the paper, the man was saying that he hoped that when they put this on poor families, they would use the money as the child support gap to fill in for the middle class. So now the government ain't responsible for the people responsible for the people, but the government sit back and collect the taxes and stuff. So the government always collects our money, and this is white and black. But the difference with white supremacy, they get the money and they allow the white people to use, their discrimination to go through and use the rest. When the banks was giving out loans, am I lying? Is it not that we were discriminated against loans, farmland, seeds, resources, jobs? Come on. Those are all that's the chess game set up. The government ain't protected us. So they call us deadbeats, separate us, and they call us deadbeats. And then when the man not did, they come up with the project. But the man can't be in the project. And so the woman left pregnant, can't be in the project. What's going to happen if you send a man to the streets and then the woman sitting at home? He probably going to stray and make a child there. But most men in these projects and what's going on around a world, really, with a lot of poor black men because of the situation. I'm not knocking our black men. I'm saying the situation, we got to put blame where it's at. Our government and our systems are put in place to hold the black man back if he's supposed to be the head, and he cannot make the money that he needs. So where he might be in this house trying to live, making babies, which I'm not saying is right, but that's what's going on. Then most of these men are ending up in situations where they don't really, it's good for them. A lot of men coming out, a lot of us is waking up, but that's what was happening. Then when they were selling drugs, they always on the run because they know their last step is either death or prison. Now they have had our black men to accept that. Now that black men, they have them to accept that. So you got these young men running around. Why? Because these young men ain't being raised by men. Because our black men, that the fathers during the 80s were being put in prisons. Look at the movies. Like I said, look at the movies. A lot of times leads to crime. The child support and all that leads to that. And then when they get out of prison, unless you just out and out willfully not taking care of your kids, I'm just saying some of y'all women need to stop calling these men deadbeats when if these men are spending their time, what I'm trying to show you is that we got caught up in this finance stuff and we ain't never had these finances. We can't even vote our right to have reparations. So why the fuck is we caught up in this child support shit? Why? Because some of our men not being taught how to take care of a family. Me and my husband was talking about earlier. Like, share, subscribe, hit your notification bell. This is your girl straight no chaser with the queen.
And why? Because they took.
And I'm gonna tell y'all a real story. 1 minute. What you say, baby? It took the man out the family.
It took the man out the family.
That's right, and it was purposely done. See, our black men were not just out here running after the other exotic women, as they say. They were home. So look at the game that they had to play. This is mini chess games at this game of war. So the woman got to be separated from the black men because the black woman not trying to be funny. We speak some wisdom because y'all know even in the streets, y'all from the streets. Come on, because I'm from the streets too. Used to be. We can tell our men, don't do that. We can lead our men in the right way, but they make sure that we got stupid stuff going on in our minds. So we tell our men stupid, and then we praise our men being thugs and stuff like that and not caring. We get caught up in this game of destroying our families. It comes through with the music. It comes through with the image of the drug dealers. The music entices us to do everything else. So when we look at an image of ourselves, we see these images of nothingness people and we rapping about sex and money and stuff. But when you see the image of business and you see the image of fathers and stuff, you see the white man and his family. And that is not a true image because we were two family households until the 1970s. What happened? And what, like I said, what happened? Child support. So like I said, this section, this is child support. What is a deadbeat dad or mom? And can grandparents be deadbeats? So I just wanted y'all to understand the child support game and how during the child support game, how this was leading up. Look at on the backside what was going on with us. They was making weed illegal. That sets up black fathers that have to go to jail. Because they infiltrate us. Y'all always saying somebody is a spy or what they say about people, an agent. We always worried about people being agents and stuff and everything. And we won't believe the stuff that go on that actually they had their agents. They watch us. They see what we like and what we do so they can find out ways to separate it and destroy it so that we can ever be used in their prison systems and stuff and in their negative stereotypes that they use to entertain themselves and make money off of. And now I see a lot of us in their commercials and stuff. They want to make us comfortable with buying their product, but they're still not making it legal or making it easy for us to live life because them same companies, they got people who work for it that donate to them cops who murder and kill us. But we get the stereotypes and we push them on each other. And I need us to understand that our men were not deadbeats. Our women were not deadbeats. We were not these type of people. But when you lock up the fathers and then you have children without fathers and then women raising children, and then we got all this LBGT going on with our race. I ain't talking about the rest because they could do theirs and they still get to walk the streets. The police and them, everybody, all of them still look alike. All of those that's safe look alike. All of us that's melanated, we're not safe because they attack us and we don't have nobody that is representing us in law enforcement or anything that is making them being held responsible at a federal level. Child support is a game that they played to separate us. During the child support, it was them. We didn't have rights and rules. We wasn't doing that. So how did we get caught up in this child support game? Like they said in the paper, they needed to reinforce all the welfare that they was given to these predominantly white women who they started off with their fathers who died, but the other fathers, when they was having divorce at a high rate and stuff, they kept taking care of these white kids. So they had to do something about it. And they needed to get the money back through the system. So while they infiltrate us, they found a way to, why would they separate us? Think about it. Why do they need to separate it? We know that it's real, that the CIA dropped crack, guns, and drugs in the black neighborhoods. We know this, in the melanated neighborhoods. Why? So you could use them, kill each other, and then the rest of us go to jail, and then we be on the system. And then let me tell y'all one thing about this child support. Black women who don't take out child support or still need that money, you still got to pay back. If they can't get the dad, the black woman still held responsible for paying back a lot of that welfare. That's why they say a lot of the black women, that melanated women, stay on the welfare system and don't work. And then we call each other we are called the welfare queens. So that's about the child support. So let's get into what is really a deadbeat dad or a mom. What is really a deadbeat dad? He told you earlier, they said a deadbeat is somebody who don't pay their bills. So let's look. What would you consider a deadbeat? What you gonna say, baby?
It says, I did some more research on it. It says the term deadbeat is generally reserved for those who have the means to pay but choose not to. Basically, it's saying that, because, as fathers, sometimes we fall behind on child support for various reasons. You may lose your job, and then you may not get the proper modifications. You know what I'm saying? It's a system. If you don't know those things while you're unemployed or whatever, the interest and the payments just rack up against you. I know, because I'm a victim with that. Not saying that's an excuse, but anyway, it's a system. So you get so far behind where when you work in one job, it ain't gonna make it. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So therefore, you don't have money to eat. If you're a man, you're gonna take care of your kids regardless.
I'm looking, y'all. I'm new now. I see your comments. I've been looking for them. Go ahead.
So before, like I was saying, so before you not take care of your kids, you gonna work that job, even if you ain't got nothing to eat. I'm speaking from self experience. You know what I'm saying? I went through this. So they don't care about the man or whatever. So it's a system. You know what I'm saying?
Hold on, I'm gonna read this comment. It said, "Now, when you have children," it's from Karen Bina. When you have children out there and don't put in effort, knowing you don't pay child support. Now, that's what I'm saying. That's a deadbeat. Now, my thing is, a lot of people, what I guess I was trying to say, a lot of men are called deadbeat because they behind on child support. They meet child support, but I was trying to give the example how we got caught up into parenting. Now we're into this financial game with them when we were 2-parent households, and how now we are in a generation that don't care. They're not taught to be fathers and stuff. And now we're talking about when most men think they pay their child support, some women are satisfied with it,
but they're still not real fathers.
Yeah, because let me tell you my story, and this is true. This is real story. This is a real story. Like with my own kids and stuff. It said, somebody said, "Yes, ma'am, the government is what happened." At that movie, Claudine will explain it. Thank you. But when I had my kids and me and my husband separated, and I knew that he was with somebody, I always put my kids first. Because see, if you're a real parent, you're going to put your kids first. When you put your kids first and stuff, and you raising your kids, you have to do what is conducive to your children. Now, what they do, that's why I say I know the music, I know all this, because I was caught up in them. We wind up doing stuff. We live in a life. They telling you, we see little white kids say, "I want to be free." "No, mom, I want to live my own life. I want to be grown." Then they put over here, we got little black kids saying the same thing. When our situation is not the same. We need to stick together. Because I would see, like the streets. Look at how they destroy the black man in every way. Every powerful black man they destroy. Somebody said, I'm gonna look at this. The child support system is messed up. It's always been this way, and something needs to be done about it, period. Even if the father or the mother lives in a home with the kids, they still have to pay. Exactly. Or look at how thank you, Ethnic Radio Archive Reels. Wait a minute. I'm gonna look at oh no, I seen Karen. I'm trying to play with these comments and see y'all comments. But look, real story is I used to put my kids first. So it's like I'm not gonna do this. I ain't gonna say I ain't take out child support on one of them because I had two. I was young and then I was married. So either which way, I looked at we have a way to work together. And I wanted to work with them and stuff. So if they came and stuff and I got benefits and they stayed over at their dad's house and stuff, I send food and stuff over there, send snacks. I felt it was a way to work together because I felt like this. We talk all, you got women like, hey, you better not, he over there, he better not bring my child over there, this and that. Now, men, if you're going to be with another woman and you got children and stuff and you broke up, you got to be smart and stuff because sometimes a woman can be in there and if she's a real woman, she should help you make sure that it say at Daraine Lewis. I know I learned from Black Media and Tinaberry speaking the truth about it. They do have private meetings to figure out what's the next step to keep up the division and killing the sophomore. Exactly. Because look, I made sure that we had a good okay. Some people don't because some people when a relationship is wrong, when a relationship is over, some people don't let go. Sometimes you have to know when to let go, but you got to still put them kids first. They ain't got us putting our kids first, not in the music. The music is here to program us. And I'm not knocking the music because the people who make the music, we're all caught up in this game. And I only talking about different stuff so we can understand what position are we all playing in this game of white supremacy that we subconsciously do not know. Deadbeat, get dads and stuff. Now, if you're not taking you don't, if you're sitting up here, we got so much women talk about the money, but what I consider a real dad is if you're spending time. So I made sure I worked together. We even got to the point with her kids because our kids gonna be together. You can make it hard on kids. We talk about we sending them to school and this and that. No, we start a lot of stuff at home too. So I used to make sure if they go, I wanted them to be comfortable. It got to the point where if my kids went over there and they knew step brothers and sisters. Then sometimes kids want to be together. When they came over home, they'd be like, could so and so come? I'd be like, yes, because at the end of the day, they're kids. And I didn't enforce a lot of child support, but when I needed stuff, I would call them. And when he called it, he'd give this and that. Now, some people take advantage of stuff, but if we're spending just the same amount of time and stuff, that's what parenting is, and not just y'all getting y'all kids and put them here and take them, but you take them somewhere and put them in a room or mad because you gotta take care of the kid. Because I think that a lot of pressure is put on men with being fathers because it's financial, and a lot of men don't know how to be a father. Look at that football player that killed that his baby mama, the I say baby mama, Lord, the woman who had his child and he had her executed and killed because he didn't want to. Ray Carew. Why? Because of financial burden or whatever. So we weren't these type of people. And I'm just here on each show I do. I'm just trying to show ways that we need to unravel this web that we're in that destroys us. We were not these type of people. And the child support, so we have to start looking at what is deadbeat and can grandmamas be, because some of these women, you just as bad with your children. Right. Some of y'all, I mean, the man take the face of the deadbeat, like the black woman take the face of the welfare queen, but those are not them, right? Those are not them. So men take care of their kids. I'm in a family. The men in my family, I don't care how poor they is. They kids. They come if they had their daughter. My cousin, he'll come and get her hair braided. They did what they had to do because in a big family, you kind of had what should be a community. And so if you have a community sense, you can take care of the kids. You know what I'm saying? Somebody said, Ray, you can take care of the kids together. You got to create a system that you can take care of the kids together, not this system that was given to us by white supremacy. So my kids would go and their kids would come, and I wanted them to be comfortable. Just because me and this man didn't do right or might mess up, I'm not gonna make the kids feel uncomfortable. And then that way we gotta learn to be there for our kids. So what is a deadbeat? A deadbeat doesn't, they say a deadbeat means you owe a debt you don't pay. I guess you could owe a debt if you ain't spending time and effort with your kids.
You didn't hear the other definition. It said deadbeat has the means to pay but chooses not to do so. That's the label of what a deadbeat is. Get it? It says has the means to pay, but you choose not to pay. That's a deadbeat.
That's what I'm saying. And we got up in this game. That the government set us up on, and we're playing a game every day with stuff that wasn't us. See, they stripped us from our communities. They couldn't have our own. See, look at, like I said, I want you to understand how it all came into play. We had Black Wall Street, but it wasn't just Black Wall Street. We had lots of Black communities all over. See, they always get us in a state of mind of individual. They make us think individual. They make us think that only this is happening to us. You know what I'm saying? So they take away our communities. It happened massively. Then they give us projects. Then they start enforcing rules where the man can't be here, this and that is based on your finance. Then you only get help in the projects is based on your finance. So they cause you to make decisions. They give the woman the shelter and they put it in government rules. They gave the man the drugs and the guns. And then they set the stage with the raps. The rap artists, they changed the positive music. They took out the black faces in any positive shows. Remember Gullah Gullah Island, the stuff our kids use, anything positive black, they have find something against it to take it off. Look at Bill Cosby and stuff. No matter what that man did, what that got to do with the shows we watched. It was supposed to be acting anyway, right? We know that, you know, but they made sure they set the stage to make our people deadbeats, to separate the dad from the home. They had to find a way to get to the king. Ain't that what chess is? And the only now come on, our people invented the game chess. I do want you to know that. We invented chess, we invented yoga and stuff. A lot of stuff that we call white is not white, it's ours. I look at Kaba Kamim a lot. Shout out to him, Dr. Claude Anderson. Oh, and I want to give a shout out to all these other queens. I'm gonna set a different one. I want to give a shout out to Amadea Shakur, Aaliyah Khadija, and I like Michi Eggs. I would give a shout out to a lot of these queens and stuff and everything that, you know, gave me some boost. Jade, she gave me some boost too. But you know what I'm saying? We set out, they have us set in this chess game. What the queen do? The queen protects the king. And we made the game chess. We got to stop looking at the society they got us playing in. We like in a real life Sims game where we only could do this if we pick what they have for us to use, when we really don't need them. If we separate it, meaning we shop more with each other, we do more with each other, we start knowing each other more. We got to start being a community. A deadbeat means something financial. They got us all thinking about money. This world has been turned into money and it's being destroyed. And our ethics, our parenting has been destroyed. Yes, grandmas and moms and everybody can be deadbeats, because now they separate the family, because you will have some men live with their moms, right? The mom doing as much as they could. But you got some grandmamas, they act just as worse and young out here in the streets with the young ones. Some of these young ones are having baby because they hoping that we have a generation of destructiveness, and then they set this public system up where they infiltrated it and put it in the judicial system. That's when it came part of the government. All of a sudden, all these children is a problem and it becomes part of the government. Now they enforce it. So explain to me, what is it going to do you unless a man just out and out willingly? Because some of y'all are deadbeats and some of y'all women are too. I think a parent is somebody that is supposed to take care of their damn children, no matter if you're a man or female. But we just cannot look at, because you can't look at it on a monetary level.
Right.
We gotta look at it. What does this man do? Can he pick them up? Can he read with them? You might ain't got this, like community. The mom might can't do this, but the dad might be damn good with math. He might be a good person. They put these fake roles upon us. Some men are better cooks and better organizers than women, but then they make the man feel less of a man if the man was controlling stuff that we see, the household. See, it's like a game we play with them and understand what was we doing right before. Look, they don't want us to look back in our history. They never want us to look in the past until they open up the lens and say, hey, look, 9/11, the Confederate War, when they want us to look back on stuff. Oh, thank you. Ethic Radio Archives Real said we're so happy you're speaking about this on both sides. Yes, because I had to raise children. I had to make a conscious decision. And when me and my husband at the time broke up, it was not good. I went there. I almost could have went there a couple of times, but they tell you don't think about tomorrow. But I had to think about my kids, and you got to think about parents. If you real parents, somebody said, "Yep," because I could barely come. Like, oh yeah, somebody said, "Yup, that they good at doing hair too. Some of them better than women." But they see, so white supremacy separate. That was another game, the sexist game that they were playing. You know, they play checkers and chess with us. The sexist game where they don't want the man to feel like he the man,
right?
Because he can do stuff. We both do stuff, and then they make the woman do this, and then they both argue. They say the woman want to be the man. The man they play this game, and they have us separated.
The macho ego.
Yes, when a man can do just as good, do stuff. Somebody say you right about that. They can cook. They can do all kinds of stuff. But hold on. But we don't look at that's what the being a father is. We don't look at we don't value stuff no more. We monetize it so everything is worth money because that's what's been done to us. Everything about the black person has been monetized. Yep. And they monetize our relationship with our children. Like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Thank you, all you followers. Thank you all that's viewing.
Fathers, take care of your kids.
That's right.
We're going to do that.
We used to be the face of married couples. What you say the father's going to do? What you say?
I said, take care of your kids.
That's right. You got to look at, we don't never look at the man's situation.
Do what you got to do. You know what I'm saying? That's why I say, now, I do say this. I hate to hear when they say, you know, like what a real deadbeat dad is when you don't try, you don't pay no child support, you don't spend no time with your kids, you don't go get them, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, those that do, you know, you got to do what you got to do. That's part of you. That's your seed. That's you. If you don't take care of yourself, you know, take care of them. You can't take care, you know, yourself. You can't take care of them. That's another part of the child support thing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
if you can't, they made sure the man can't take care of the woman. And then they put the crack. And then they criminalized it. Right. And they sit here and give themselves the best education so they could be legalized drug dealers, pharmacists, and they go through college and stuff. See, they legalize their way of life and they make our way of life illegal and give us the resources that they want us to have. They said Brandon Cruz said they also made it so that women would be less likely to need us. Okay, but did I read that one to you? It said they also made it that women would be less likely to need us by removing us from the home and offering money to women as a trade-off. Yes, right. Because they made us poor and you want to feed your children. They made us both make decisions that we wouldn't normally make in a regular situation where everybody has the same access to resources.
Exactly.
We wouldn't make these songs till we didn't pay ourselves to make these songs. When we were making songs, our music wasn't like this type of music. All of this stuff that we're seeing, that we're producing is out of desperation. We have to understand, what is a deadbeat? And grandmamas and grandparents, what are you passing down to your children? Because what's being passed down is right now in this time is garbage. I'm a grandmama now. If I didn't get my mind together, what could I be doing in the streets? You know what I'm saying? What would I be doing? I'm trying to learn to catch myself so I won't be part of this destructive society. I try to, like I said, you got to wake up every day. Are you thinking and the things you do and say, is it because white supremacy have put views in you that you don't really understand? It said the thing that people seem to forget is that the child is not focused on money when they are young. They are more focusing on spending time with the parents. Right. Thank you. You brought me to my thoughts. I was trying to catch. Yes. That's it. We were saying that. Yes. That you are so right. That's what I'm saying. When I remember, that's why I said it don't take money. I remember my kids, little man, we go to the Dollar Tree, it'd be like $10, $20. Everybody get 5 toys. Kids, you let that man, if he's coming and making your kids happy, not making them angry teenagers that want to just sit around listening to rap. Stop trying to put the police. Some of y'all just use the police because this man don't want you. Exactly. No more.
That'd be the case.
For real.
Get back at the man.
Because you can be mad because I've been in that state of mind where I could have. And don't tell me because I'm a woman. And you could go right here. You be at that crossroad. And you could do so. My daughter going through so you could be doing something. You could feel it. And I tell my daughter, I tell people, it's not worth it. You just have to let your kids. I always say, let a lie outrun the truth. But be there. But y'all women, y'all gotta just if you gotta stop believing. You can't say you women and you wise and then you get caught up into what is it? The play lie he tells you, and then you start competing with other women because of this man. I mean, because you want this, what is it, fairy tale in your mind? Right. You know what I'm saying? You know, sometimes, I mean, I ain't saying I'm perfect because I done been there. That's from experience because I done did some stuff. I done cut up stuff, done destroy stuff. I done been there, but I still brought my mind to where I still had the mind right there at the crossroad that what I do when I was really broke up with him, we was done, is that I'm gonna be there for my children. I wanted to be a better example because when I seen how people argue and fight in my family, I think all the kids, like I have a close-knit family, and then we might not be the best, but one thing is the dads and stuff, we always let the dads come. All our dads, cousins and stuff, kids' dads know each other. And so our kids' dad is able to say stuff to our kids and stuff. It's kind of like I was saying earlier, we got to like our own little community and didn't really know it, but that's the community, because where I'm from, we still was able to keep little community values. So it's stuff that I brought and stuff that our family had that we passed on. You know what I'm saying? So we all had that mentality of it takes a village, you know? And so that's the mentality I had with other baby mamas or mothers of the children. I have 2 kids' father. And when I was young and stuff, and I got pregnant at 16 and stuff, and I had them, and I realized what was going on about this and that. I didn't want to be in that stereotype. So when things happened, I made sure me and her were friends, and my daughter knew her sisters and brothers. So it came to the point where during hold on, I'm gonna put this up. I'm trying to read comments at the same time. During holidays and stuff, we would go, they would come to the house, come back and forth and stuff and everything. So if you're living for the children, you would kind of make more decisions for the children. If we were, as Black people, I'm talking about melanated people, excuse me if you don't like the word Black, I'm just learning to get rid of it. We all have to shake this white supremacist habits that we have. I know we're not Black, but you know, melanated people. So we got to shake these habits and stuff. So basically, we have to learn to live as a community. That's what we are. That's who we are. When they dig us up, it's beautiful. Yes, it's a beautiful thing. I'm glad I made the decisions I made back then, because now when I'm older, I can talk to my ex-husband, his daughter's mom. I check on her. It's like we okay. You know, my kids know them. All the kids are grown now, so everybody know each other. And that's from my 2 kids' fathers. You know, you see what I'm saying? And so, so my kids, when they grew up, they all knew each other. And so their sisters and brothers from this woman was friends with this sisters and brothers from this woman. It's like, you know, if I would have known what I was doing back then, I was just me. And then we had the neighborhood. So I could do the video. I'm gonna do my little documentary. I do a lot out here, and not saying paperwork wise, but as in I try to practice what I preach. You see what I'm saying? Anybody that know me personally and stuff know that I'm about family and I'm about sticking together. So I don't just get up here and talk to you about sticking together and don't practice it. And I ain't gonna say my family are perfect and we don't curse each other out and do stuff. But I just want us to know that we have to get to a certain point in our lives that we live together with our differences, and that we need to stop putting monetary stuff on each other. Deadbeat dads, if you're out here and you're deadbeat dad, or if you feel like women, if this man wanna, and it's like we so messed up in society, you can't really trust stuff now. But if a man is broken, he is hiding from his child because he's scared of child support. We need to start ways of mending stuff. We need to get out this child support system and come up with a way that is going to work for us. That we gonna. Somebody said, I wish I could take it back. It takes a village mentality. Thank you, Mouse. I know, but we can still, you ain't got to, you can't take it back, but what you could do is pass on messages, pass on when you see people. I'm one of these people, everybody know me when I come over, because I speak just like this. I speak my mind. I'm like, what you doing? What you doing with your life? I talk to our people, my young people in the family. I know when they see me coming, they're like, oh, here she go. Then a preach, tell us this and that, but I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead. What you finna say, baby?
I was just finna say that. Just because a parent is behind on child support, either mother or father, doesn't mean that, that you don't have a right to visitation to your kid. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? That's two separate issues. You know what I'm saying? Because, see, it's not about you. It's about the kid. The kid has the right to their parents. Mm-hmm. To both parents. It's the kid's right to their father or their mother. Exactly. So that cannot be taken away from the child.
Exactly. That it's like the child knows you. When they get older, they'll work it out. Like I tell my daughter, and she have her problem with her kids. So I said, when they get older, they'll work it out. Let them do it. Let them see them for them, because it's deadbeats out there. But don't hold them back. Try to be cordial, and y'all both. That way, y'all men stop getting backed in the corner. First of all, stop making babies if you don't want them, because if you the head, you know what your stuff do. So first of all, either start getting yourself fixed if you don't want kids, or you take the responsibility too, because Black women should not just have the responsibility to have to get their tubes tied. If y'all like this and that, we got to start, like I said, this broadcast is for looking in the mirror. We got to start looking in the mirror and see what do we do to contribute to our own wrongs. Okay? So basically stop having children by people if you don't know if you're going to be together, because a child needs two parents. It needs a village. And stop holding the children back. Just because this man don't have money, we have to come to a different treaty. If he ain't got money and he got time, y'all need to work out a babysitting. Right. All these kids should not be in daycare.
Because if a man come to get
these kids should not be in daycare.
If a man come to get his kids, he got to take care of them. If they with him, he got to feed them. You got to have somewhere for him to stay. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is, he gotta be responsible for his kids. If he come to get him or call him about him, let him get him. Mm-hmm.
Let him speak to him. If y'all ain't had a relationship in a while, or if you were fussing or something, it's like some of us, we all need to start looking in the mirror. I'm telling you, will feel so good when you get past the pride and not wanting to see yourself and actually see what you contribute. You'll start releasing some of this. It take energy to hold pride. It take energy to hold in something. Some of y'all women are jealous of the man, new life, this and that, da. You too busy looking this way when you might be missing your king somewhere else that would be better than what you think.
And guys and fathers, be consistent. That's something you gotta do.
Be consistent.
If you come to get your kid, whatever, be consistent. You know what I'm saying? Don't be in and out their lives, and that causes a lot of problems too, and resentment. Mm-hmm.
Exactly. And look, like you're right, but we got to start somewhere. So some of y'all that is on back child support, some of y'all that I tell my daughter all the time, and my other kids and people I know, like give y'all fathers a chance. And some of y'all women, some of y'all, just because y'all got the child and collecting the child support, y'all it's a shame.
And that's it.
Some of y'all is a damn shame.
It's supposed to be spit on the child, and the child, you know what I'm saying? The child
it's not even just about being spit on the child. The child support is for what? It's supposed to be supplementing the child if he in the household. So if y'all, because the man is not in the household, so some of these women are out here basically like you see them. Most of these mixed women and all these women that's running around with our black men that's famous and with money, they want to produce their child so that their child could be taken care of. You know what I'm saying? By these rich men. You know what I'm saying? So basically, we need to basically take care of our children together, because we've been tricked that we've been tricked that being a father or being a mother is financial. Like if you pay child support, then you a good dad.
That's part of the system.
And when I was saying that, because I was looking at the Kobe picture. When I was thinking about that, I'm looking at Kobe and his wife. Kobe was a good dad. He was there, and like you see it, it's not just finance. He was just building a legacy. He was building. What you see? What he had, the academy and stuff. He was building his life based on his children. Like, even though he loves sports, but you see what I'm saying? It's like you building your life around someone just said you don't have no baby by someone you're dating 2 months. Please, I don't know what they said in the comments. Hold on. I'm trying to read the comments and do the video. Excuse me, y'all. At the same time and stuff. And both parents have the right to make the decisions of the child, regardless who their relationship is. Yeah. But a lot of them be financial. We have a lot of women trying to have kids by our kings that have money so that they can have their seeds be taken care of, so that they can be taken care of by the money. The woman want the money.
Right.
So a lot of these women that are with these men, that's their job. They have made it their job so they could get that money or get that business loan. Let me give you a child, or let me get married to you, and this and that. Because we all know half of these time these women would not be with our men if they was not what they were. But in which way?
They seal the deal when they get pregnant.
Yeah, a lot of you got to stop thinking that using your child, and I see a lot of people with the child benefits. If you're on benefits, I'm not knocking it. If you getting child support, I'm not knocking it, because I done been there. My thing is, you're supposed to be using it to come up to get your situation better with your children. Like I was saying, our kids should not be in daycare. What is it? That good old hair thing and light skin is shameful. Yeah. Our kids should not be in daycare, because if you got two parents, somebody should be adjusting, or unless you can't, but the dad should be able to take care of the child on certain times when the mom work, unless y'all should make arrangements. Practice is working towards perfection. That's right. You got to practice it. If we don't never talk about it and practice it, we're not going to never do anything. We're not going to never change. And like I was saying before in here, I was saying about child support, those that came in and didn't see the beginning. Child support is what got us in this deadbeat thing here. We were 2-parent households before this child support came on. Then I want you to look at how in this chess game that white society, white supremacy started putting the traps in play in this game. They got the child support. They set up the child support. But then they set the man up to be broke, so he can't pay the child support. Then they come right around and put him in jail. Now explain to me, what good is he and you? What good is this man in jail because he's behind on child support? But what they got, the new rule too with the child support, is if the woman try to go get help, the man got to pay it back, and she got to sign that paper, and it gives them the right to go press charges against him. And this man might be in jail for a while, and he got to get out and start. And then some of them know that.
For some, he don't even know about.
Some people say Moscow said alternative schedules of work can be done. It takes sacrifice. People are more concerned about posting baby pics on Instagram though and being cute, right? Nobody wants to take the time to get dirty with the children. Nobody wants to run around changing diapers and fixing snacks and teaching them how to use the bathroom and teaching them this and that. Being a stay-at-home mom is a job. So but that's why it takes all of us. And then when our kids, they took the village away, somebody said we need our village back. Vanessa McConnell, she said we need our village back. You're right, because we got to stop. Like I said, in this child support thing, they had to find a way when they was giving all the white women that the government welfare was taking care of them. But when they started switching the scene and making us the face of welfare and child support, they took away those benefits, because They got theirs. They got opportunities. So white women at the time was fighting for rights to work too, because they also they created this program where they had to go back to work when they were getting benefits, right? So when white women had to go into the work field, that was created in the WIN. It was the WIN program. They was trying to find a way how the government could get some of this money back. So they were putting the white women back into the work field. When they put them back into them back into the work field, they started fighting for their rights for equal pay and equal jobs, right? But they getting the opportunities and they set a trap for us. They put in there, well, our men were going to separate. When they separate, they had the next trap set up where the only way to take care of ourselves was through the welfare system until while we trying to get educated. Then they got the other traps where they don't give us the education. They have us all piled in public schools and they give private education. Explain to me why people are getting two different educations. If the education is real and it's right, why can't everybody get it? When did we have to start paying for education? You know, but they make sure we don't have the education, and then they set the rules for the jobs. Oh, you need this education. So we are never catching up. So we look like the face of failure everywhere we go. And then we sit in here with mud and we throw shit on each other's face. We sit in a pile of shit and we throwing it. No, you ain't this, you ain't that, you a deadbeat, you this, we put this stuff on each other and don't know our enemy sitting there looking. Our enemy set us in a trap and we in here fighting each other. Then we got kids. Then the final trap is our kids are shooting and killing each other on the streets because they haven't had a dad, because that generation in the 80s that went to jail for crack, that was the last generation of men that was really holding those manly values in the home. You see what I'm saying? And so they went to prison, and the only time that a man, they could get their discipline through the phone. You know, I remember them time, not saying my dad was there, but you know, women that were like, when we go see your dad and stuff, you know how the pictures depict it. But then next thing you know, yeah. And then next thing you know, the man can't, that was the last generation in the 80s. I'm trying to tell you, when they separated, they went through making marijuana illegal 1939. But that was the same time they was making stuff for child support. Then next thing you know, they was giving all these child support benefits because we was 2-parent households. We didn't need it. Our men we were working together as a family. We had communities. They were separated and stuff. So at the same time, like I said, we had many communities. Remember, they were destroying Black Wall Streets and everything. When you destroy something, people got to run. What we gonna run to if we got nothing? Oh, come on to the projects. At the same time, they started taking away the welfare benefits that took care of the white women the whole time, as they gave white women rights and benefits and jobs just as equal as her white men. They was making sure we were left behind. And then what they gave us was crack and drugs and guns. And then they started changing the images we seen on TV of ourselves as a community. And they started changing the images and taking more and more of our clothes off so that it could be okay sexualizing us. Then they started taking more and more of our words away and making us call each other bees and the N-word and stuff. Look at how we've been on this chess game, and we blame each other and stuff for destroying each other when our enemy, our government, is written in paper, did this on purpose. But what was the point of dropping the guns in the neighborhood? Well, at the time when they took care of all the white women, they wanted to know how to get it back, so they had to replace the middle class. So now we have been, our so-called deadbeat dads and stuff, they came in, they started a whole judicial system that was going to handle child support. This never existed in the government before. They pulled a whole system that's going to handle child support now. So, and hold on. They put a system in that going to handle child support. Now what you did, you created jobs for white people because white people was handling child support. You created a whole new generation of jobs. Now you created more secure jobs for the police, child support workers, DHR. Now they get to come in our houses and stuff because they put us in jail. They put us in jail. They give our men's crack and stuff and then say it's illegal. We had weed. They make that illegal when we know weed is not a harmful drug. They using it for, we see white men making money now, but our people still rotting in prison. You know, they make sure that our men are locked away from their kids where they cannot teach their kids. 1980s was the last generation. Then in the 80s, that's when they dropped the crack. That was the same time. During that time, somebody told me my wife kicked her out for just child support and food stamps. I don't want to hear that. But during, you probably, if you did, you what to my angry man, my wife kicked me out for child support and food stamps. Anyway, if you was really on child support and food stamps, you and her would have found a way. She probably kicked you out for something else. Don't come in here with that nonsense.
What?
No, somebody put a comment. Somebody, his wife kicked him out for child support and food stamps and stuff and everything, or some crazy comment. But either which way, they set it up in the 1980s where they knew that they set the trap and they sat back and waited for us to go walk into the trap. So little by little, we started separating because our men were being put in prison, and our women been going to being single mothers raising boys, and then the boys grow up and they teenagers. They don't know their dad by the time their dad come. So when they have kids, they ain't got nothing to teach their kid but survival skills. How did they survive? I hustle, I this and that. So they pick up the torch because they want the money and selling the drugs. Now it become a game. Now that's all. Then they have to, with the game, here come the music. You know, now in order to have good music, you know, all the studios, the black studios and stuff we had, they won't fund our music. But if we say we the only race that say kill, and we celebrate killing each other and getting AKs and stuff, not patriot and protecting our neighborhoods. That's why they got rid of the leaders like Malcolm X and Martin Luther King during them times. The executions came. Look how the stage was set to destroy us. Child support is just one of the moves on the chess game to get to the king. Like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Straight No Chaser with the Queen. We here at the throne. There's a way that we can do it. We got to stop thinking monetary. What can your kid's father do? What is he good at? What is he good? Why did you sleep with him? Because you need to start sleeping with people that you have something in common with. We need to stop being attracted to each other and doing what the white man did to us. Sleeping, that he used to be attracted. This is history. Be attracted to us, sleep with us, and then leave the kids. Because he had a sexual attraction. They make us look at each other sexually and not what we really need from each other. And then the LBG thing, somebody is to get, what did it say? Rush to get married, not why our community, we don't even want to be in the same household. That's right. They made sure we hate each other. They made sure we hate each other.
Break the family.
Yes, they want to break up the family. Why? Why would they want to break up our family? Because they never let slavery in. They had to find a way to make us slaves.
That's the strength. Families make communities.
Yeah, I like this. Go ahead, I hear you, baby.
Communities make villages, villages make cities, cities, you know what I'm saying?
That's so right.
What is it? Starts with the family.
The village, what is it? Like a tribe, two tribes come together, you got a village, if I'm not mistaken. And then when the villages come together, you got a community. When you got the community come together, you got a city. When you got the city, you know, you expand. We got to start with the village. We got to start with the tribe. We got to get back the tribe mentality. That's all you baby mamas and stuff. Y'all need to start learning to get the fuck along and then start loving yourself. Stop worried about what's going on in the man house. If y'all ain't together, you don't know what you're missing out there. Stop getting caught up in petty stuff back and forth with each other and stuff. You know what I'm saying? You don't know what you're missing. Right. Let this man be a man and take care of his kids.
Take care, right?
Let him see them. Let them see them. And men, stop running, stop promising and making promises and breaking them.
Being consistent.
And stop thinking you got to start spending time. It's not always sports. It's not always sports. Sometimes you got to sit there and talk to your child. You got to make sure your child, we got to start censoring what our kids read and watch and listen to. Even if it's us. Like, I hardly listen to the gangster rap stuff no more. I ain't gonna say I ain't listen to Meg and Baby. I like a little bit of it, but that's between me. But I kind of get back to the point of turning it off around my little kids. Most of the time, if you come to my house, you hear Little Baby Bomb. I wish I know how to make the little black ones, but at least it's not training them. It's training them all day to say their ABCs, to do this, to do that. Sometimes you got to start living, like I was saying about Kobe. You got to start, when we as parents, you start living your life for your children, not for social media, not for fame, not for clout. You start living to take care of your kids, people gonna see you anyway. When you do something that's you, people gonna see you anyway. So you ain't gotta basically be rich to take care of your kid, and you ain't gotta be a deadbeat just because you ain't got money. And you grandmamas and stuff out there, y'all need to start trying to talk to your sons and talk to your daughters. Because some of the grandmamas I say they dead because they right there in the club with their daughters and stuff. And I'm not saying nothing wrong to go out and have a good time sometime. But you got to put something first. What you celebrating.
Right. When your kids can't tie their shoes or don't know how to, not potty trained, club, you still wearing Pampers.
Exactly. We got to get in. What your children doing? If you a man, you ain't got no money, can you potty train? Can you do hair? Can you cook? You could go if we didn't have a society of women, this men running around trying to live like they polygamous with all these baby mamas, as they say. Then you got women being mad with each other and not really being confident to each other. Because if you had a good relationship, you would be able to, hell, maybe sometimes if you ain't got no money, cook the meals at your house and tell her to come pick it up or drop the meals off. What's stopping you from doing stuff for your kids and stuff? Yeah, like if you got to cook and she tired at work or y'all across town, maybe you cook the meal at your house and drop off dinner for them. But see, a lot of y'all women won't let your man do that because you'll be sitting up here thinking about you and not the child.
I know you ain't doing it.
What is he doing? Go with him. Don't let it stop you from being a woman. Go with him. But if you got to question a man like that 24/7, I don't need nobody. I don't need nobody. I got to keep questioning and digging and looking and stuff. Oh, hold on. I'm gonna look at this. He said the grandmoms could support more, like, yes, you're a grandma, but do you still have a role? Yes. That it doesn't mean she the mom, but you can be there. Because I see this stuff where people say I'm not the grandmamas trying to have fun. I'm a grandmama, so I know you can still do your role, because I'm doing my role more because I know the society that my kids grew up in and the mind that we was in. We shorted our children. So sometimes we do have to be there as grandmamas to start picking up the torch that we left. Because I'm not saying we were purposely wrong, but we were led wrong with our music, our song, the music, the movies, the attitude.
And it's all about example.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Kids gonna look up to their grandparents. They spend any kind of time with them.
Karen Newman, you would be like, look, this is the comment. A lot of old school rappers went underground because of no radio play. Their message wasn't destructive to our community. That's what I'm saying. That was just another move to get rid of the message and put a new message. Kill, rape, don't care, call them bees. How did we know to call each other bitches and niggas? How did we know that? Where did that come from?
White people exploded.
We didn't even like it. We fought. That's how they were suing them for saying it. So they had to come in and make it okay and pay us to say it. And then it programmed us. Music programmed us. What happened to Different World and all these shows that I remember, you remember watching them? What we got now? A bunch of, and I don't care about the housewives. I look at them, but I feel like that's my adult soap opera. You know what I'm saying? But what does the kids got? With the kid, now that they got the internet and everything, there's nothing that separates the children from the adults no more, except for in their world, because they got the time to parent their children now. We don't have the time to parent our children. That's the problem. We don't have time to parent our children. So parents, we got to find a way to stick together. I'm going to start doing some videos. Y'all going to see some of the grandbabies. I don't know if I'm going to have them on this channel or we just going to have a little separate channel, because I go hard on this channel and stuff. But I'm practicing what I'm preaching, and maybe we can give some examples, and maybe we could do this community stuff. I'm hoping I'm passing on some ideas and stuff to stick together. You could maybe cook, maybe just go buy the kids some clothes and jackets, and women accept it. Because I have my daughter, And I used to teach my daughter this all the time. And when she was with her kid's father, and they went to go get the other kids something, the other baby mom was so jealous. When they dropped off all the stuff that they had struggled together to buy, she took all the stuff and threw it out in the projects for all the other kids to pick up, which it blessed the other kids. I told my daughter, so it blessed the other kids. That's her. We got to stop. I'm not saying, when I'm saying angry, if we're going to be angry, black women, melanated, let's be angry about some real stuff. Black men, if you're going to be angry with each other and be disrespected, be angry and be disrespected about the real people. You know, grandmamas, mothers, fathers, we got to start the tribe and community thing back. Child support separated the village mentality. Child support made us stop looking at what we parenting skills. The man might be poor. I know a lot. I know a boy in the hood. He was so poor. We used to laugh. He'd go to work. He ain't had the best, but one damn thing. He had a lot of children, and he still do. Terrell, if you ever see my video, shout out to you, honey. He was young, but he loved his children. He ain't give a damn. He take pictures with them, and he was. I don't know. I can't say his background. I don't know all his background. See, that's what they trick you. They let you see background, and you see somebody's background, and automatically you think they're a bad parent. No, we can do better decisions. But I used to see this. It's a lot of black men. They take care of their kids. That boy used to always have his kids, still have them now and stuff. But, you know, we got to be more of that. If they can spend time with their children, it can help you some. Some of y'all sitting here angry with the children and frustrated when you could just relieve and let these men take care of their kids some, and then you can have a life instead of trying to destroy somebody else's life because your fantasy of your family didn't work out. You don't know what other blessings is out there for you. A lot, and if this message is for you and you going through that, I don't know why I'm saying that, then maybe you need to check yourself. Because if it's over and you see that a man, and especially I used to have my daughter, because if you got somebody like me, I used to tell my daughter, don't argue with the other women. Y'all be friends. Y'all got to take care of these kids together, because at the end of the day, you know how I had you. She know her sisters and brothers, and then at the end, when they grow up, their relationships among each other, they can't say that they wasn't grown together. People are different anyway. But at least I gave them a chance to know each other in a safe atmosphere. And that's what we got to do. Sometimes we can take care, if we can get past trusting each other, especially y'all little people we can't even hardly trust, because you got so many rapists and crazy people out here. But if we can get past a place where we have real trustful people in our community, we won't have all these high daycare fees. We won't have uneducated kids. You know, we can have somebody potty training. We can have somebody doing stuff. We need to buy and shop from each other. Understand, when we shopping from another black person, that's somebody that they feeding. They're feeding their family. We got to start. If crack and drugs can make people rich in the neighborhood, then businesses can. We got to learn to get along in our families first. That's the baby mamas, baby daddies, fathers, parents, mamas, step kids, step mamas and stuff. We got to learn to get along in that circle, that tribe, and then become a village. Because 2 tribes put together is a village. So let's start building the village to build the community back. So y'all have a beautiful, blessed day. Like, share, subscribe. You want to say something, baby, before I leave?
Y'all have a beautiful day.
Anything to the men out there? Any other message?
Oh, okay. Men, like I said before, closing. Be consistent. Do what you can for your kids. If you can't do that money, like she said, no money, anything, you got time. Kids going to remember what you do for them, the time you spend with them. That's true.
Mm-hmm. Kids, like they said, somebody said in there earlier, kids are going to remember the time, not how much money you had. So just allot the real kids anyway. And lunch. Yeah, somebody said babysit each other, do lunch, you know, tea party. We got to just start coming with ideas within there. And like I said, when me and our grandkids make our channel, we going to be coming with our little ideas, because honey, they be having us going. You just got to accept the life that you in. If you got kids, you got kids. Stop trying to live like you single. You got kids. You know, that's what happens when you do the stuff you do. So if you out here doing what you do, take the responsibility of what you make. Exactly. Somebody said B1. Okay, y'all have a beautiful, blessed day. Like, share, subscribe, and thank you, supporters. You have a beautiful night.